Mercy, luxurious, Heat Nation, yeah, Mercy and Lago, down to Biscayne, yay, 5 on the floor, ride for my dogs, Ware, here's the thing, you can check the score, hustle hard, couple scars, wearing bubble frauds, down to Biscayne. Kept the flow playing, got it all banned. Y'all seen the block, stop with one hand. And Pat we trust, Inspire have the guts. We're here to bring the heat, y'all can hang it up.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Also make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
Welcome back to 5 on the Floor. I'm your host, Greg Sylvander. Today's floor plan with me, Brady Hawk. We are going to recap Miami's first game in Vegas as we get into Summer League action. They finished up the California Classic, have now gotten settled in Las Vegas and lose to the Atlanta Hawks 105-98. The score doesn't really matter as much. We're going to get into what we saw from some of the Heat's young players, talk about some opportunities, things like that. Before we do, want to shout out Off the Floor. That's our Discord server, $2.99 a month, $3.99 is the Apple upcharge. But if you use it from your desktop, $2.99 a month. This is where you can get the most heat anywhere. 10 channels. You could talk transactions. You can talk draft picks. You can talk team building, like trades. And we provide updates. It's basically a one-stop shop for everything Miami Heat. And it's $2.99 a month. So go to the link directly in the description of this episode. Check out Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere. All right, Brady. So we're into Vegas Summer League, which always feels like the most legit version of Summer League. I don't know why I associate it that way. And something good happened today and it's funny. We're going to give everyone a little bit of backstory here about the way that sometimes these topics come to life and evolve. Ethan texted us during the game and said, we really need to talk about Kel'el Ware and the way he looked in the Summer League. I think you guys should lead with that. And Brady and I immediately, but Brady most adamantly, but I was right with him. We're like, no way. We are starting the episode talking about Kasparas Jakučionis because he had such a rough California 3-game set. He had lost confidence, and he came out today, Brady, and was efficient. He was confident. He was getting to his spots. He even took a couple shots that some people would have maybe categorized as not the best shots, and he still hit them. And I think that might be part of his offensive game. Only 2 turnovers, 4 assists, 24 points in 28 minutes of action. We wanted to start here because Heat fans needed to, see that this kid has some promising stuff. When I talked about seeing the wow factor from him, did I lose you?
Here.
Apologies for some slight technical difficulties, but we are back. Jakučionis needed a game like today, Brady. What were your thoughts on Kasparas as he finally got to show flashes of some wow plays that I've been asking for? Your thoughts on his game?
Yeah, the easy thing we could say is they put the ball in his hands more because we've been asking for that. And I mean, that's what we saw in the first half. But he just looked more confident when he did have the ball in his hands. He looked more decisive. He looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the basketball. It all started early on in the game where he just kind of came down the floor, drove, attacked one-on-one, had spin move inside and banked it off glass. And it was like, if he's coming with that type of energy out the gate, it feels like he just looks more confident in general. And then from there, we just saw the 3-point shot falling. We just saw him. And if you go back and look at those threes he was shooting, because I'm going to post the thread in a little bit on kind of some of the ins and outs of it, none of those were easy catches. Like he caught one on the left side of his body and just somehow shoot it. The next one was on the right side of his body where he's leaning right at the end of the shot clock. He had the transition pull-up, which is never an easy shot in general when you're trying to slow your body down and flow into that shot. Just not easy shots. It wasn't wide open spot ups. And the reason I bring that up is because I almost feel like that helped him. Because I think back to the California Classic where every shot was wide open in the corner, wide open on the wing, and he's sitting there overthinking it and letting the shot fly. Okay, I'm 0 of 8 from 3. I'm 0 of 9 from 3. And he's like, I still need to get my first 3 to fall. And this game, he didn't really have time to think. Like, it was like catch, and I'm just going to let my usual just flow, my jumper just do the job. And he was just kind of just flowing from there. And the issue is he's a primary playmaker. We know that. That's like what he's going to be in this league. The only way he can be a high-level playmaker is if defenses respect his scoring enough to open up the rest of the guys. And we didn't see that in the California Classic, so it was kind of hurting his playmaking. And what we saw in this game was like once the defense started respecting him as a scorer, that's when the playmaking started to show. It was one possession in the first half that was his best play of the entire game, was where he kind of broke the defender across, got inside, kicked to the corner for a spot 3. That's just the stuff you want to see from him.
Yeah, it's definitely a good sign to see him start this tournament in a different mindset, being much more aggressive. The other guy that has been playing really well is Pelle Larson. And he's like, I think, like I was hoping Kel'el Ware was going to come into this process in Summer League and look the way that Larson has looked in terms of just physically overpowering guys, getting to your spots and feeling like confident and moving with intent. I don't think have been some of Kel'el Ware's strengths, whereas I think Larson, you've seen him do that. So this is another game, and Larson finished with 16 points. He was still a primary offensive option. They had him bringing up the ball a lot, which is, they're trying some different stuff with him, and Ware obviously does need to be set up to some degree, but just disposition wise, I've loved what I've seen from Larson from the jump here, particularly today. Your thoughts on this dynamic of kind of Ware's underperformance and Pelle's looked really good before we go to break?
Yeah, so when you have a guy coming back for his sophomore season of Summer League, you want him to look like he's kind of heads and shoulders above some of the other guys, like Pelle Larsson looks right now. Like he looks like he could control the game, and he just looks like he could take over when he chooses to, and he's kind of dialing it. It's hard to see Pelle Larsson dial it back because I always feel like he's going 125%. But it does feel like he is just at a level right now where he can get to the basket whenever he wants. He could draw a foul if he just goes on the body of certain guys. He's been good defensively. He's controlled the game on the ball, as you said. And we just haven't seen that from Ware. I just feel like Ware, I said this early on in the California Classic, and I thought maybe Vegas would bring it out of him. He just looks like he's going through the motions to me. It just looks like a guy that's like, almost like I'm a starter of the NBA. Like this is kind of below me. But he just hasn't controlled things offensively or dominated. I know Udonis Haslem used that word today earlier where he's like, Kel'el needs to dominate because this is kind of he should be dominating in this type of environment. And he just hasn't had that energy offensively. He hasn't really had that energy in general. Like I haven't seen that Pelle type going 110% energy that we're used to. So it's tough to say. I mean, if he doesn't want to play in Summer League, I mean, it feels like he's going to be limited anyway. I mean, a lot of times when guys come back, they play 1 or 2 games in Summer League. So if he's going to play limited games, it feels like I'd rather him go full tilt a little bit in those games and be done the rest of the way.
Agreed.
But we just haven't seen that yet. And it's hard to really get a pulse of what Kel'el's jump is going to be, what he can be, what his full potential can hit offensively. Like what you want to see almost is Kel'el take a bunch of threes, take fadeaway mid-ranges, take this stuff that this is the point of the time where you want to see what you have to work on, what you can get to and all that stuff. And it almost just feels like he's screening, rolling to the basket. If the lob's there, he gets it. If not, if it's deflected, it's, oh, well, ball's going the other way. Like that stuff we know is there. We don't care about that. Like that's going to be there regardless. I want to see the breakout offensive stuff. And we just haven't seen that level from him in Summer League yet.
Yeah, it's like he's playing his role that he would play with the regular starters. But with this group, we need him to kind of look above and beyond those guys. So I think that's something we'll watch for going forward. If he plays, that'll be the other question going forward, how much run they give him in Vegas. I want to shout out Prize Picks. That is our daily fantasy sponsor. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. That'll get you $50 instantly when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is daily fantasy simplified. It's made easy. You choose your favorite players from your favorite sports, choose the stats that make sense to you And basically you choose more or less on each statistic. You can do flex plays, power plays. You can win up to 10 times your money, but you got to use the code FIVE. That'll get your initial deposit matched up to $50 when you play your first $5. So you'll get $50 instantly. You just got to use that code 5, prizepicks.com, daily fantasy simplified. All right. Batting cleanup, looking at the rest of the roster. Anybody else you think is worth a shout out? I think that Vlad Golden is continuing to flash offensive things, finishing around the rim, stuff that can probably help this team at some point. I'm getting annoyed at Eric Stevenson and some of his play. That's just a personal thing on my part. But there was one guy that showed out today in 22 minutes that you've been wanting to talk about, and that is Javonte Cooke. Your thoughts on him before we close?
Yeah, he just looks really strong. He just looks like an all-around prospect. He kind of attacks the game at a lot of different spots. Specifically, let me start by saying I really liked what we've seen from him defensively. Like the defensive stuff jumps out, which by the way, Kasparas, shout out to him on the defensive end. I didn't mention that enough earlier. I liked, even in California, I thought he was just really strong defensively with just his activity. Same goes for Javonte Cooke. I just feel like he's just his wingspan, his athleticism, the blocks, this keeping guys in front of him and containing the steals. Like his effort is always there defensively. But he's just an all-around guy because he runs the floor and plays in transition. He's a good finisher. The shot was falling today off some open spot ups. The shot is clean. It's not like one of those shots we talk about you have to work on. He just seems like a really complete player, and I just like his overall game. It seems like he has some scoring and offensive upside compared to guys that we've talked about in the past in Summer League. The reason I push back, I've been a big fan of him since before Summer League started, but the reason I push back a little bit is because we've seen this player build and we keep talking about this on all these episodes, but not end up getting the shine on the real roster. Like that's just always what's happening here. And that's why I'm making the push that I do feel like they're going to look up some spot up shooters, maybe not on the Heat's Summer League roster to maybe fill that last two-way spot. But I will say, as I keep watching these games, I'm getting closer and closer to saying that Cooke could end up being their two-way. I 100% think he's going to be their Exhibit 10. I mean, he has to be there for training camp, but the two-way spot, as they're trying to figure that out, I mean, the way he gets after it, he seems like a guy, if like in the regular season, if they do have to throw somebody in there and Spo has to trust somebody to at least go after it defensively and play at the top of the press and fill in a spot in the zone to just be pesky and use his length to his advantage, and he rebounds. Like, he's just a good player. I'm intrigued by him. I'm just interested to see a little bit more of him. And honestly, you mentioned some guys like Stevenson or even Kyra Lewis we've talked about before. Like, I want a lot of these reps to go to guys like Cooke, guys like Ware. Like I wish they could. I understand the shot diet has to be spread around because it's Summer League. Everybody's getting their chance. It's about trying to let everybody show out. But I'd almost like to decrease some of the shots from some guys and put them in spots with the guys that we want to see. And Cooke has just been one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And Kyra Lewis Jr., shout out to you because you did have 7 assists and only one turnover. I'm looking at this correctly. 5 rebounds, 4 points in 25 minutes. So, I mean, he's doing good things, but I'm with you. He's not necessarily who I want to see shine. I was really happy to see Kasparas Jakučionis show up today. We'll continue to monitor this team. Kashad Johnson is on a standard contract, and as much as I like him, there were probably in this game moments where I wish he would have been more efficient as well. So he's a player to watch because he's on a standard deal. So he's going to be expected to be able to play at some point. But I also think that this group that he's playing with may not be the optimum type of players that could maximize the things that he does well, just in terms of having playmaking around him. So all in all, the Heat do lose this game 105-98. We'll have you covered for the rest of Vegas Summer League and plugged in with all of the prospects on this Heat roster. But the takeaway for today is Kasparas Jakučionis has finally had some wow moments in a Miami Heat uniform, and I'm sure he feels good about that. We sure do. We'll have you covered for the rest of the Summer League. Peace.